Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to you. Welcome to this presentation review of the book, The Nature of Good and Evil. All right, what Gnosticism is a people's religion. Gnosticism is love God rather than fear God. Gnosticism is that we came to perfect ourselves to return. I believe that. That's what the journey of life is for the wheat. Again, those of us that want to be better, that want to grow better. Uh, Gnosticism is reincarnation is with Christianity. Rhythm and blues vocalist Tina Marie wrote a song called "I've Been Here Before." You should listen to it. I love it. It details her experiences as a person who has had past life regressions, I think that's what you call it. Uh, and for her, I mean, she's been mostly an R&B, romantic based vocalist, artist, or whatever. But to write a song that stands out like that, and it's quite popular on one of the local radio stations that I listen to every now and then. So I would recommend anybody that's interested in understanding reincarnation, past lives, regression. Listen to it. I love it, and of course, her vocals are up there, so to speak. Uh, Gnosticism is we base our path to God on reason more than on faith. Anything that you can ask can be answered. Question, ask, and you shall receive. Uh, Again, I just think that has been essentially the way of the Christian, the spiritual Christian, not about religion, but the anointed is going to want to understand things to alleviate the suffering of himself or herself and of others as much as possible. And that's what true education is, I believe. Gnosticism is we are an addition to your existing beliefs, not a replacement to them. Uh, Gnosticism is we keep going until we get it right. That sounds like just constant questioning until you arrive to that zenith. The minute you realize what your pattern is, you can begin to release it from you. All of what Gnosticism is. And I'm not necessarily promoting, I'm going through the book as a review. I am not a Gnostic. I don't think you have to have an identity attached to it. Again, that goes back to the whole statement I am and getting too caught up with being I am and not being able to expand or transcend that. So you can question things, ask questions, especially asking why and how, without having to actually be a Gnostic. Okay, we keep going. Okay, what Gnosticism is not? Gnosticism is not an excess of rituals. Gnosticism is not random life without meaning. Gnosticism is not a huge cathedral with crystal domes. Maybe she was referencing mega churches. And benevolent spirituality is not external, obviously, meaning that uh, benevolent spirituality is internal, and maybe that's what Gnosticism is. And it goes back to introversion or solitude, that you must go within to be able to discover what you need to work on, to do the shadow work, so that you can get to better heights, to self. That's part of self-actualization, not just for the external things in life, but mostly for the internal. The more you consider my Gnostic theology, the more you go back to the time of primitive spirituality. And that's from considering spirituality on page 120. And I just want to say in reference to this that uh, since I have and am still growing into what it is to be a Christian from a spiritual perspective, and believing the Unitarian as well as the Trinitarian aspect, that Jesus, God, and the Holy Spirit are all one and three at the same time, is that Jesus has always existed because God has always existed well before religion existed. And so I just, as I unlearn a lot of things in life, especially in terms of trying to understand where religion really comes from, is it of the benevolent, the ultimate benevolent creator? I just don't think that the dogmas and the doctrines of the three main religions of the Middle East, Judaism, Christianity, Islam, as well as others, I don't think it was meant for uh, us having a connection with God. I don't think it was meant to be complicated. I don't think having a spirituality was meant to be complicated. I think that it has become complex because it has become politicized, and I just don't think it was meant to be as hard as we have made it out to be. Because once we, as humans, I mean we, made religion and specific religions a part of just another way of identifying, a way of saying I am, and not transcending that, it's just another way that we as humans have created division. I just don't think that even among the Christian denominations that it would be denominational, or essentially divisive in what is to be known as heaven. They're going to be Methodists on one side and Pentecostals on the other side, and Catholics, Buddhists, you know. Is heaven going to be as large as the world, the universe or earth that we have now? So I think when we go back into who we were in primitive times as humans, that the connection to the benevolent creator and to our inner spirituality and to nature was not and is not to be complicated. I think that spirituality is independent, is individualistic, and our connection with the Creator is a relationship. And I believe that to be so, and if that is so, it's just not meant to be complicated. I just think that, again, going back to what I said, dogma and doctrines and overemphasizing laws and certain rituals maybe has complicated things in the world. I don't know what else to say to that. I just don't think it was meant to be. Our connection to all of that was meant to be, or is meant to be, complicated. It should be a lot easier. But I think because of the overpopulation of groups in a way, have caused that idea to become that God is complicated. You know, it goes back to what you were saying about, you know, what do you believe about your God? And I believe that there is one. There's many paths to get there, but the paths are benevolent. But I don't think it's meant to be complicated. I want to thank you for your time. I hope that you have enjoyed this review, and that you will go and read the book for yourself. It really, like I said before, early on, helped me a lot when I was trying to come into the understanding of what I experienced through my own tribulations, my own trials. Going into the mode of solitude, I think there was a path that not only I was meant for, but others who were meant for that same path at the same time around the 2020s, the the early 2020s, which led to that test, the test or a test that uh, the benevolent Creator will send you, and blessed to have made it through such a test, to be able to come to the other side and talk about these things, for just to bring others to Him. That's the main purpose now. That's why I try to use this channel to do that. I don't want to come on here with any negativity. It's already enough of that going on in the world, and we're at a shift, I believe, and we just need to be, hopefully, that malevolence will be diminished and extinguish, and that benevolence will prevail. That's what it's about at this point in my life, and hopefully in the lives of others who want to see heaven come, even though, of course, war must come before peace. Hopefully, the final war for the eternal peace. So, thank you for your time. Go and pick up or order the book online and keep reading, keep learning, keep questioning, keep wanting understanding. Go higher to that place that is meant for you, and let us attempt to reach the benevolent Creator somehow, as close as we can. Wouldn't take nothing from our journey now. It's been some rocky roads, hills and valleys, but I wouldn't take anything, because I think education is true education is the key to getting to the other side. So thank you for your time. I hope to engage with you on something next week that I'll be preparing for, to try to visit some past presentations that I completed, just uh, with audio, but I want to try to make videos from them as well. So I'm going to be working on that. But if you have any questions or comments or want to educate me further, I'm a listening ear. I'm more of a listener than a talker, believe it or not. But I want to thank you for your time. Hope that you enjoyed the presentation. Go get the book. Keep reading other books. Suggest books to me. And let us advance so that we can become better within. And hopefully many of us more doing it will advance to others outside of us, so that we can spare our planet before it's too late. Thank you for your time.